right, welcome everybody to our second live stream of the day. We are on our way to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, from Lakefront, Louisiana. Low altitude IFR. Let's see, can we go ILS 13? We can do it that way, or we can do ILS 22, right? There we go. I think that would be much better. So we're gonna have to we're gonna go in and make this loop around and then come in. So, all right, just over an hour flying time. No higher than 7,200 feet, so we will put that into our flight computer here in a moment. Hopefully everybody's still having a good Tuesday morning / afternoon. Alright, we are ready to fly. We're just going to make a few changes here. We're going to change the weather, of course. And then we're going to dial in our altitude. $7,200. And then we'll be airborne in a moment. Give people time to come in. I suppose it might be another quiet stream. All right. Parking brake is off. No flaps needed here. All right, let's double check this. All right. Let's rev it up. All right, away we go. Altitude. Head over to lake.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
Oop. Get on our path here. Autopilot on. Nav on. Bring us back in line with our marker.
Cessna 237, contact New Orleans departure on 123.85.
And there we are. We are airborne.
123.85 for Cessna 237. New Orleans departure Cessna 237 is at 700 feet, climbing 7,000 feet.
Cessna 237 New Orleans departure altimeter 29.9. To continue to RYTHM as planned.
Continue to rhythm. So that should be our first waypoint right there. So we're going to continue to climb. The plane is going to fly itself. We'll hit our waypoints. There we are. Interestingly, it said we were going to 7,000 feet, but our cruising altitude is 7,200. So if it levels off at 7,000, that should be fine. Wow, look at that sun right off the water there. Ooh, that's bright. Yeah, I figured, I know it's, like I said, it's probably going to be kind of quiet. People are probably still getting their day settled in. That's fine. Picked up a new follower on Twitch. We're flying over Lake Pontchartrain. There's Lakefront, where we just took off from. Kind of had almost an immediate departure out and try to turn towards our first waypoint here, en route to Baton Rouge Metropolitan. I have to kind of watch that airspeed because we're still climbing at a fairly good pitch to get to our cruising, get up to 7,000 feet. But we're also losing speed over time. And at some point we may stall. That's what I'm worried about. I mean, our rate isn't too terribly bad. I mean, it's not like we're shooting straight up, but we're starting to get in that area where we might start to stall, which I have to kind of keep an eye on. Maxed out on the throttle. Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna end up stalling here in a moment if we don't start to level off. Yep. Now, see, the problem is we got to get it back going towards 7,200, and it's not. Yeah, see, now it's maintaining its 6,500. I don't want it to.
Cessna 237, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
Yeah, I would like to, but all right, let's turn off the autopilot and re-engage it and see if that starts to bring us up to 7. No, he's holding at 5,600. Oh, come on, dude, you're killing me now.
Cessna 237, please expedite your climb
Yeah,
7,000
see,
feet.
alright, I think I hit the wrong button. Okay, let's see if it does it now. Nope, it's just going to keep us at 6,500. Boy. I think
Cessna 237, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
Yeah, it's not taking it. Doggone it.
Cessna 237, contact Houston Center on 126.875. Good day.
126.875 for Cessna 237. Houston Center Cessna 237 is passing 5,700 feet, climbing 7,000 feet. Cessna 237, Houston Center altimeter 29.9 to continue to rhythm as planned.
No, it won't take it. Oh, come on. All right, so that's one of the things we learned right now, folks. If you are in this altitude, selected altitude, if you go ahead and synchronize the current, it will put in that, and even if you dial in 7,000 feet, it's not gonna, the autopilot is not going to see that. It's going to ignore it and keep us at 5,600. So don't touch that freaking button, because you're going to be stuck at that at altitude that you're not supposed to be at.
Cessna 237, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
Yeah, all right. Well, even if I hooked on it. Let's turn that off. Turn nav mode off. On. Flight director off. On. Yeah, it's not taking that. know what I gotta do. I know it.
Cessna 237, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
Alright, now we should be going to 7,000. Alright, there we go. Jeez. Nope.
Houston Center, generic November 614 Victor Mike is passing 14,900 feet, descending 3,000 feet. Generic November 614 Victor Mike, Houston Center, altimeter 29.9er, 2 continue to Hotel Romeo Victor as planned. Cessna 237, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet. United 2012, contact Houston Center on 127.0. Good day. Going to 127.0, United 2012.
Alright, now we're moving. Now we're going the right way.
Generic November 598 Lima Golf is at flight level 350, descending 10,000 feet. Generic November 598 Lima Golf, Houston Center, continue as planned. Air Shuttle 6376, contact Houston Center on 127.0. Good day.
Going to 127.0, Air Shuttle 6376.
Alright, so we should make our turn here towards our next point. Right there. There it is.
Generic 4 Victor Mike, contact Houston Center on 127.0. Good day. .0 generic 4 Victor Mike.
Alright, we should level off at 7,000 feet now. The vertical climb is bringing it turned itself off because we're now at we're approaching 7,000, so that's all good. there we are. Little hiccups, but we managed to work around that. So the workaround is you go turn on your vertical speed and just plug in some, you know, like 300 feet a minute or something like that, or 400, something reasonable that you'll start climbing. You don't have to turn the flight FLC mode on or anything like that. Just put on the vertical speed and it'll all take care of itself. And then it turned on the altitude hold model mode. Now I wonder if that's why we were having problems with the 5600, because it basically thought that we were saying hold at 5600 when that wasn't the case. So maybe I should have disengaged that mode as well. We would have gotten up to 7,000 feet a lot quicker instead of getting the over and over, hey, go up to 7,000 now. Wow, super quiet. Nobody's here at all. What the deuce? Well, it is what it is.
Contact Houston Center on 127.65. Good day. .65 for generic 8 Lima Golf.
Alright, so we should see coming up on our screen here, we should have our other marker should be coming up into view here shortly. We should be making, I think, some minor adjustments heading somewhat northwest at some point. And then we should get start getting into our approach pattern. We're going to fly up, circle around, one way or the other. That's what we're going to do, and then we're going to get into our pattern. Go on the approach mode, get that glide path, and then we'll fire the autopilot just as we're about to. As soon as we get close to being over the runway or thereabouts, that's when we're going to fire the autopilot. Kill the engines, we're gonna try to do that a bit all at the same time, and then we're gonna come in for a nice landing here.
contact Houston Center on 126.35. Good day.
No.
126.35 for Cessna 237. Houston Center, Cessna 237, 7,000 feet. Cessna 237, Houston Center, altimeter 29.902, continue to TIX as planned.
Okay, TIX is our next waypoint. You see it at the top there. TIX by 0.5 nautical miles to get to that point. We should see it on this screen here to the right here in a moment. There it is. That is, and I don't think I want to touch it because it's a red button, which means don't touch.
Delta 2450, contact Houston Center on 133.5. Good day.
American 1281 is at flight level 400, descending 10,000 feet.
American 1281, Houston Center, continue as planned.
Alright, so there's our next point coming up right here. That's TIX.
133.5 for Delta 2450.
So we're going to stay on roughly the same heading. Pick up our next waypoint, and then we should start eventually kind of circling around, getting our approach pattern and all that stuff. And we'll land this bad boy, call it a day. Play some music in the background. Never been through Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hello, Amela. Ah, there's somebody finally showing up. I thought I chased everybody off. Goodness. How are you, Amela? What's the latest and greatest in New York City? Alright, now see, that's where, this is the thing that kind of got me into trouble before. See, now I would think we would start to descend. Because, you know, that's telling me at that waypoint we should be at 3,700 feet, right? But I feel like if I went to 3,700 feet or started to decrease my altitude, I would get a nasty phone or nasty radio call from ATC saying go back to 7,000 feet. So, not sure what to do. I guess we'll wait for instructions. They want us at an assigned altitude for a reason, I'm guessing. They play their games, we play ours. Ooh, a bit of the moon there. Look at that. Almost a full moon, it looks like. Very cool. We went from Kicks to Walkie. That's the next point there ahead of us. W-A-L-K-E, Walkie. I'm doing good, thanks. The city kind of mess right now. My back garden basement is flooded amongst... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that about it. That sucks. Well,
American 1369er, Houston Center, continue.
we've not had, although the other day I went for a walk and went over the little creek and it was raging pretty good from the rain that we've had recently that went to you. Yeah, it's a bit crazy, the weather recently. It's been really humid here as well, really visible. Just, you take a shower and get out the shower and you feel like you got to take another shower.
Cessna 237 descend and maintain 2,000 feet.
Wow, 2,000 feet.
Descend and
What
maintain
in the
2,000
bloody
feet, Cessna
blazes?
237.
Are you insane, man? That's fine. Now, this is the tricky part. See, I don't know how to get it to go to like negative speed to start losing altitude. We just kind of come off the gas here. We should start to lose altitude naturally, I think. Yeah.
Cessna 237, please expedite your descent 2,000 feet.
Turn that off.
Houston Center, Air Shuttle 6082 is passing flight level 360, descending 10,000 feet. Cessna 237, you are 21 miles east. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 22 right approach.
Oh, now it's telling us to maintain our altitude.
Cleared to Pierno. Air Shuttle 6082, Houston Center, continue as planned. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 22 right approach via Pierno transition. Cleared to Pierno Cessna 237.
I don't know. Sometimes this is a bit weird. There's got to be a way to, because it did show like a negative number. I don't know. Yeah, I know, Amilla. Goodness gracious. I don't know sometimes, but we're going to try to get this thing landed, get it on the ground, and be done. Because it has a minimum is 1,900 feet. That's on approach.
Cessna 237, please expedite your descent 2,000 feet.
Why is it going back around? Like we hit our point. Oh, don't tell me this thing is going to get all wonky on us. off or something? Nope, it's on. Oh, it missed the marker for some reason. Looks like. Alright, we're gonna pick the thing back up here in a moment.
Cessna 237, please expedite your descent 2,000 feet.
Well, you told me to go to... Oh, my goodness. Alright, this is... I don't know. We want to hold, we want to turn this off. Not on approach yet. Okay, that's the approach number there. Okay, so we gotta fly up.
Please expedite your descent 2,000 feet.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So if A is our interact, what if we do X? Nope. We want to go negative. That.
Cessna 237, please expedite your descent 2,000 feet.
I'm trying, dude. I'm really trying here, but
Cessna 237, please expedite your descent 2,000 feet.
oh boy. Come on, plane, do your thing and go to 2,000 feet, please. I'm getting really tired of hearing this guy bugging me about this crap. See, I think it thinks we're on approach for some reason. I think that's part of the problem. Because we fly that same track back to approach, essentially. So I think that's part of the problem right now.
Cessna 237, please expedite your descent 2,000 feet.
I think it'll do it automatically as we come back around and go into approach mode. Because I think if we switched on approach mode now, it would take, I wonder, no, it's still too early for approach mode. Nope, okay. Alright, now it's going. Okay. Did it switch off? Nope, autopilot is on. Nav mode, okay. Wow, we are just, oh my goodness. I gotta really cut back on the throttle here. yeah, we are, look at that. We are just zipping through the air now. Goodness. Well, oh Lord. Yeah, I think it's kind of confused, but we're going to get to 2,000 feet very quickly here. That's for sure. Learning stuff all the time, it seems. Alright, we should start to come out of this climb here in a moment, or dive, essentially. There it goes. Alright, so there's our, we're turning on that loop, kind of, I think. Oh, man, I tell you, this is, I'm learning something new all the time about this, the way this flies. And it's not very intuitive in a lot of ways. Okay. All right, things have finally settled down a little bit. Oh my goodness. I tell you, it's quite the adventure in this game sometimes. Never a dull moment. That's for sure. That particular point, because that should be our entry. That should be the point where we hit the approach mode. Is that one right there that's 24.37 nautical miles away. Interesting. Well, at least we're at 2,000 feet. We're not going to keep getting those silly messages request to get to 2,000 feet, so we're there. See, it says we're going to Walkie now. That's interesting. Alright, so that's the point that we flew over before, and then we should turn northwesterly to our next point there. I don't know, maybe I looked at the flight log wrong. Sorry, nav log. So Dills, that should be the one over there. That should be the one right there. That should be that point right here. Or I could be wrong. See, I wonder if you're flying IFR, if you have like an overlapping sort of well, I thought I had a pretty good handle on it, Amilla. You know, like putting the information in on the, when we create our flight plan, it all goes into the computer. But what I think is happening is that either maybe there's a bug or something that the computer thinks that it mixes up the markers that we're supposed to be flying to, our nav points, basically. So I think it's confused or something, because that's when you do the I'm kind of getting used to this one, but I don't know how to like change the like the distance. Like on the Airbus 320 you could dial out and see farther ahead, so yeah, that looks like it says Walkie there. For some reason it's like we missed it, and then the plane took us back, and so we're flying back to Walkie, and then we should go into our pattern sort of area, but we're just going to maintain at 2,000 feet because that's what air traffic control wants us to do for whatever reasons. They got their, like I said, they play their games and we play ours, so but yeah, the screens, it's I think if I was on a computer, I could zoom in with my mouse a lot easier and be able to read the information. Like if I put the cursor over, it blocks out all this information right here, so it's much harder to see what's what. Alright, so we should be turning towards that one right now. Let's see if we line up. Yep, looks like we are. I think. Walkie to FRNO is our next one. Alright, looks like we're kind of getting everything lined up. It's kind of doing its little adjustments there with the turns. But hey, if they want us to maintain 2,000, then so be it. I think because it's a glass screen, if you touch it, it may damage it or something. I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, because I think people probably assume that it's a touch screen, and might come in and start just poking at the screen instead of going like, oh, I should maybe you got to just do the buttons and you're okay. So it looks kind of like we're on track for that point there, and that should give us we should be able to turn in and start lining up for the airport it looks like. And then
Delta 159er, tree contacted Houston Center on 133.5. Good day.
yeah, it looks like that's what we're
133.5 for Delta 159er tree.
see, there's that says Dill's right there. Yeah, I think it's just that because this has got the Garmin, the new 1000 in it, or new-ish, I guess, and it's a glass screen cockpit, from what I understand. So these are all glass. So yeah, with the pressure, I think if you touch it, you may inadvertently crack the screen, and then your screen is basically unusable. You know, and then you're going to be flying with your instruments. You know, these three right here. What you can't do, I think there's a way that you can kind of do a scenario where your screens fail and you have to rely on your dials. So once we get that point, I should be able to turn on approach mode again. And we should be lining up. We should get the glide path and all that, and then we should be able to. Well. Guess everybody, a lot of people will catch us on the later on. It's been ridiculously quiet in the chat today. Yeah, that should be our entry. That should be our point right there. And then we should, I think, unless we have to turn again. Let's see what happens when we get here. I kind of feel like we're gonna have to fly another track again and then come back in. I don't know. We'll see, because I see, you know, we're coming up here and it looks like there's another track that we got to follow there. So I think that's what we're getting ready to do. But we'll know more here in a moment. Yeah, I think that's what it is, because that's not necessarily lined up with the airport right there, that marker. Because there's the runway. I see the ILS lights flickering on the ground kind of in the distance there. So, yeah, I think we're going to have one more go around. So I don't know, Mamela. I guess maybe people just are taking the day off, or I don't know. Oh, well, it is what it is. So, yeah, that should be our ILS right there. So I think we're going to go past this. We're going to turn. I think we're going to turn again coming up here. So it seems like our computer missed a marker, went back, and then came back around and found the marker again. The autopilot missed its nav points or something. But we'll see what happens when we get here. It could be the lineup. I don't know. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. Yep. So it looks like we're going to turn and take a right, go up that track, and then we'll line up on the runway. So that's what we're going to do. So yeah, I don't know. It's like super quiet, but that's okay. Like I said, everybody's kind of got their thing going on right now. And, you know, for some folks, maybe kids are getting ready to go back to school, so they're trying to cram in time together before that happens. I don't know. Some people might be here, just might be lurking. I don't know. Alright, so yeah, we are...
Descend and maintain 1,900 feet, Cessna 237.
Oh, boy, okay. So yeah, we're going to turn there for approach. There it is. So once we get around there, we'll yeah, there's our yeah, I think it's still, yeah, some parents have, it's like a blended thing where sometimes they're going to go to class on campus and other times it's going to be you know, at home. So all right, so yeah, we're gonna, looks like that's what we're gonna do. So it looks like we missed a mark, and then the plane kind of corrected itself. It went back and then came back to the point. So it was for some reason there was a hiccup in the system, maybe, I don't know. So there we are. So we're going to take a left, or kind of bank to the right there, and then we'll pick up approach, and then we'll turn on the approach mode as we're coming back in. We'll do that, and then we should have the glide path. And then we'll start putting our flaps down and start slowing the plane down and all that good stuff. Yeah, there's like, it's almost like a fish hook. You got the eye of the fish hook right there.
Contact Houston Center on 133.5. Good day. 133.5, generic 6 Mike.
So should make that kind of a, we're going to go right, and then we're going to have a lazy left to get back online with the runway. There it goes. So that should, as we come back around on that lazy left, that should put us into approach. Yep. There we are, we're flying that track now. That proc turn.
Southwest 636, contact Houston Center on 133.5. Good day. for Southwest 636.
There we go. It's weird. It almost seems like... Alright, so we're coming around here. There we go. Still turning, still turning. Come a little bit off the turn. Still turning. Alright, once we straighten out, we're lined up, then I'll put on the approach mode. I think we can do that safely then. Looking for when it should kind of light up as we come around. It should say GP soon, I think. Or it should say it when we go into approach mode. There we go. Alright, let's see if we go approach mode now. Alright, it's looking for the glide path now. We're going to start slowing down here a little bit. We haven't got our glide path yet, but it's looking. So we should be in approach mode now. Get some flaps. Maybe just get a little bit more so we can start to slow down as we get ready to line up for our... Looks like we're kind of lined up, but should pick up the localizer here pretty soon. Get a little bit back on the throttle here because we dropped a lot of speed, but that's okay since we want to be fairly reasonable with the speed and all that. Line up, give us our lineup. I don't think we're going to get it till we're about there. We should, I mean, it should be, must be a grass field right down there. Yep, looks like it. That was probably a private field because there's a house right there. Give us our lineup.
Houston Center and Riverside 418 is passing 9,400 feet, descending 2,100 feet.
Endeavor 5418, Houston Center altimeter 29er, 2 continue as planned. Endeavor 5418, contact Ryan approach on 126.05. Good day.
Let's see if we get it now. I feel like it's searching. We should have gotten it by now, I would have thought. But maybe we'll get it as we get closer to here. Yeah, because I don't think we're within the target range just yet for the localizer to kick in and give us our glide path, but it should show up. Let's just make sure we have... Oh, what in the world just happened there? Okay, so that's all on. There we go. Now it seems like it's got it. We haven't seen our glide path show up, but it should at any moment kind of pop in here. Our red sort of glide path should be showing up any second now. But I think we've got... Nope, I turned that off. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, now it seems like it's got it. Whatever reason, it's not giving us our glide path. Why is that saying 0? For some reason it's not picking up the localizer, but that should be our ILS approach right there. Come on, why isn't it picking it up? Come on, glide path. Why aren't you showing up? Alright, we're just going to have to do this, I think, the old-fashioned way. Yeah, it never picked it up. I think because we're on that weird path. We never got our thing saying we were cleared to land. We're going to go ahead and bring this bad boy in. Let's turn off the autopilot. Autopilot is fired. I think we're lined up enough on the runway. Oh, now it gives us our approach. That seemed kind of weird that it would do that. It took forever for it to find it, and maybe because, like I said, because of that weird sort of situation with the lining up and getting the ILS to acknowledge. But we're putting this thing on the ground. Well, there it is. We landed on the designated runway.
Ryan ground, Cessna 237 taxi to parking. Cessna 237 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway cross runway 22 left Foxtrot. Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway cross runway 22 left Foxtrot, Cessna 237.
That was totally by the seat of our pants, firing the autopilot that early on and just putting it down, because it just didn't seem like the ILS was wanting to line up. And like I said, I think it's because we had that weird sort of flight path, and it wasn't cooperating very much. So
Cessna 237 hold position, caution, the generic on final. Hold position, Cessna 237.
but yeah, for just kind of winging it, no pun intended, we did okay. Oh, here comes the plane right there. I see it now. What do we got here? Oh, looks like an 8320 maybe. Wow, that's a very smooth landing. Wish mine were that smooth. Oh boy.
Cessna 237 hold position, caution, the generic on final. Hold position, Cessna 237.
Is there another one on final? It just landed. What are you talking about on final? Is there another one right behind them? Oh, yeah, just kind of had the... It just didn't seem like it was wanting to give us our ILS approach and our glide path. Like, it just took forever for the computer to kind of recognize where we were on the track. But that's okay. So tomorrow, once we finally get over to our parking spot, I'm gonna move up here just a bit, because I think there's nothing. I don't see any other aircraft coming.
Cessna 237, continue taxi.
See?
Roger, Cessna 237. Cessna 237, hold position, caution, the generic on final.
Alright, I'm gonna
hold position,
pull
Cessna
up right
237.
here. Where is it at on final? I don't see anybody that would hinder our movement. I don't know. Whatever. We'll sit here and wait. It's all good. Oh, here it comes. I see it now. Never a numpty landing here. Watch this.
Cessna 237, continue taxi.
Yes.
Roger, Cessna 237.
try to get across the runway before another aircraft comes on to approach. We're now past the runway, so we should be good to go all the way to our parking spot here. Well, overall, I think it was a good flight, but we'll look at where we're going to head to tomorrow. I think we're going to fly from here over towards somewhere in Texas, because Baton Rouge, we shouldn't be too far from a decent airport in Texas. Oh, my exes live in Texas. That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not even close to the truth. Alright, kind of a weird parking. Alright, so we're going to turn and then we're going to have to kind of loop around back in because there's just no way we can turn that quickly on a dime. That's another aircraft. Oh, there's a Dare TBM, it looks like. I want to fly one of these little two-engine planes at some point. I gotta get in and start flying some different stuff, just so we have a good mixture of aircraft that we can fly and just try some different stuff. Oops. Stopped a little short there. Looks like all we got to do is pull forward just a smidge and then shut the engine down, and then I think we're okay. Oh, come on. Come on, plane, move. There we go. All right, stopping the engine. Oh, well, you just missed a fantastic flight back from Lakefront to Baton Rouge. We had to kind of wing it, so to speak. All right, let's get in here and do our checklist, because I think then we'll end our flight. But yeah, do check it out on the... Let's go securing. Auto-complete. There we go. Well, enjoy your day at the beach, though. There we are. It wasn't so bad. We had a few hiccups along the way, but it corrected itself, and then we had to do our thing and get in here and land the plane, and it went well. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. Better landing than yesterday. Yes, absolutely. Although we had to kind of... Our ILS approach was not line, it wasn't coming up, so we just had to kind of do our own thing manually. We dropped our speed, dropped altitude, and then put it on the ground. Much better than yesterday. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. I will see everybody tomorrow on the Cathcart Circle Train Sim World 2, usual time. And then, real quick, back to the main menu. So tomorrow's flight, we are going to go from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we are going to go to... So there's Baton Rouge right there. Oops. We don't want to set that as a departure. We're going to use this short runway 22 left as our departure. That's more than enough runway for us. And then we're going to fly down to Let's see. Wow, there's quite a few airports there. That's Houston. What's this? John? Oh, yes, we want to definitely. So it looks like what we could probably do is we want to try to fly over the Kennedy or the Johnson Space Center here in Houston, right there, if we can. And then we want to land. Where'd it go? That's not it. There it is, Texas City. We're going to try to land right here. I don't think it has an ILS approach, but I think Ellington does. If I think probably 22 does. So, ooh, that's a 3.5 hour flight. No, that's too long. That is way too long. No, we are not doing that. So let's see. How about we go Williams Memorial? That probably doesn't have an ILS approach. That looks like a small airport. I think we could go to Lafayette. That's about an hour. Okay. And if we do IFR low altitude, that's 2 minutes. Now can we do, does it have, what's 04 right? That's that one. That's that one. Localizer 22 left. Nope. ILS 04R. That's there. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we'll do that one from Baton Rouge to Lafayette tomorrow. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. Thanks all for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you enjoy it. Check it out on the replay here momentarily. Enjoy it. Have a good time. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow morning. Peace.